Batman. We all love him. We all love him. It's really all you can really say about Batman is that he's just a good hero. However, there's a problem with him, and that is his no killing rule. Batman is the most inconsistent character I've seen in fiction, and what really brought this to light for me was a clip I saw where Batman was beating the ever living crap out of Joker because his friend died. And I want to make a video eventually about Jason Todd being valid in his crash out, because some people still think that he went a little bit too far. I don't think so. But we'll get to that eventually. Batman is the most brain dead character in the best way possible. His no killing rule is what makes him a hero. If he didn't have the no killing rule, Batman would 100% be a villain for Superman. 100%, without a doubt. But they probably add in, well, also it's because, you know, if he had a kill anyone you have to rule, they would be able to sell Joker toys, and they need to make a compelling plot, and Batman needs to have a compelling storyline. Otherwise, your comics are going to end pretty fast. And honestly, I think the storyline for Superman is better, because the thing is that Lex Luthor never puts people in mortal danger directly. The only person that Lex Luthor has actively tried to kill is Superman. Like, he actively has tried to assassinate Superman on multiple occasions. However, well, to preface, this is before the Superman movie, because we literally hear him say, they chose him, let them die. Which is also weird, because he's not directly killing people, but he's also not killing people. So they're sticking to the script of Lex Luthor never directly kills people like the Joker does. And I think that Batman's storyline fits so well. And I hate to say that, because in my opinion, I hate Superman. You may be asking, well, why do I hate Superman? I hate Superman because he's too overpowered. If he was just a little bit overpowered, you know, like All Might superpower level, I would be fine. I would be like, okay, he's a cool hero. But he gets everything, and his one weakness is literally a green rock that is almost extinct at this point, because it's from his home planet. Which I also realized that the reason, and I also have a theory on why Kryptonians are like normal people, is because of the kryptonite. The kryptonite probably makes them human in space. Like because the kryptonite weakens them, and their planet is literally filled with kryptonite, and that's why kryptonite is so rare. So basically, they're humans. All Kryptonians are humans on their planet. So if say Lex Luthor went back in time to Krypton and went to kill Kryptonians, I honestly believe that Kryptonian people would die. But this is not a video about Superman. It's about Batman. I was just giving an example of how to write Superman. Superman does not kill because he knows that it's easy. He knows how easy it is to kill a human life. So he actively doesn't, because he realizes that once he actively is in the face of how easy it is to kill somebody, he will become a dictator, which is what we see in Injustice. He becomes a dictator because he realizes how powerful he is. He realizes how puny humans are. He sees that nobody can touch him, basically. And that is the problem. That is where Superman is deserving of the no-kill rule. Batman, he's a human. Batman should know that he can't just walk up to Bane and punch him and break his spine and kill him immediately. But the Joker, dude, you can literally snap Joker's neck. But he says, but here's one of the lines that really irks me about Batman, is that he says, if you kill a murderer, the number of murderers still remains the same. Bitch, what? So you're saying if I actively massacre multiple killers, the remaining number of killers remains the same? That's such bullshit. Because here's the thing, is that Batman never differentiates a killer versus justice. He actively calls himself Justice. However, he actively still lets Joker live, which inadvertently kills more people. Now, the person that really set this video in motion is Ethan Does Everything. And I've been binging his videos for the past week. And he constantly has this one clip where he always talks about Batman and how Batman's rule of no killing is stupid. I think the no killing rule can work. But for Batman, it's stupid. Because here's the thing. For Spider-Man, it works. Because his villains haven't actively killed for no reason. Right? Osborn usually kills out of people getting in his way. Electro, a lot of them are really just thugs with flashy superpowers. That's it. Most of them just rob banks. And then if people are in the way, casualties happen. So for Spider-Man, it works. For Batman, really the only villain that actively goes out of his way to kill people is Joker. Right? That's why Jason Todd doesn't go after the other villains directly. Because Joker is the only one that is actually deserving of death. I'd argue that the rest of the villains are actually just not normal people, because they do pretty clinically insane shit, but they don't go out of their way. Like, they do what they do for a purpose. Two-Face doesn't directly kill people because of no reason. He kills people to gain power and become mayor, which he does at some point. I think in most iterations of Two-Face, he becomes the mayor, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, but here's the reason why the no-kill rule is stupid, and Batman is a hypocrite. There are so many issues where Batman has killed Joker for less. But the number one comic that makes you question Batman's ideology of justice is actually Red Hood. And that is why Red Hood is my favorite quote-unquote villain. Because he's not a villain. In the perspective of Batman, he's a villain. But if you really look closely at Jason Todd's character, he's not a villain. And people try to argue that, oh, he's just a brat. He's just an angry Todd Wolf. No. I'm sorry, but if you get beaten to death and you find out that, say that you and your dad are on a hunting trip and there is a massive killer who is against your dad. Your dad knows of this person, and your dad has been fighting this person for most of his life. Most of his life. And he inevitably, and the killer, the person your dad's fighting, inevitably kills you, but you're brought back to life, and you see he is still roaming. That man is still alive. Your dad is still alive too. So you know that neither of them killed each other. So the battle is still ongoing. You would be pissed too. Do not lie. You would do the exact same thing that Jason did. Now here's the thing. Here's the clip that I saw was Batman beating the shit out of Joker because one of his friends died. That's what the caption said. I don't know which friend. But he does this for a friend, but not his adopted son. And people diminish the fact that Batman full on adopts these kids. He full on adopts these Robins, and yet he doesn't beat the shit out of Joker for that. In fact, he doesn't, even in the animated series, which are arguably the darkest versions of Batman, he never beats Joker. He never even lays a hand on Joker. I think it's Nightwing that in the jail cell, Nightwing's the one that kicks him to the ground. And it just so pisses me off. It really pisses me off. And then he has the nerve to tell Jason that you do not want this. If you kill Joker, you will never stop killing. Even though his entire drive is to kill the Joker. I'm sorry, but if it was another Robin, say if it was Nightwing, who's just an aggressive Nightwing, who's just okay, let's just kill the Joker, make it easy, I would understand Batman's ideologies somewhat. But this is Jason Todd, who literally got slow tortured by the Joker. He got slow tortured by the Joker. Batman says that he mourned Jason for so long, yet he didn't kill the Joker. Batman, you can kind of understand Batman in a certain extent, but still, I think that it's just a little goofy. It's a little goofy sometimes when Batman has a no-kill rule. But that's it. That's the end of this video. I just wanted to rant about Batman. I love Batman. He's one of my favorite heroes, but it's just that one rule that irks me. Now, I'm not saying for studios to change this. Please do not change this. Because what makes Batman Batman. That's the thing, is that I love to hate this part of Batman. And I think that's how most of the fan base is. They love to hate this part of Batman where he doesn't kill. But anyway, this video has gone on for longer than I thought. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. Yeah, see you guys later.